Welcome back to Frozen Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about CHFS. It is one of also the COVID plays, but I'm going to first be going through technical analysis. Then I'm going to mention what the catalysts I expect soon. They do have as well a webinar on Thursday, but there is some other catalysts that can come out of it. So first things first, 1 month, 1 day. We're going to be looking into here. The MACD looks very bullish, looks amazing. It seems to have had a good increase after it has accumulated for a little here. In terms of momentum, it seems that it has picked up quite a bit of a momentum, especially with higher volume. You see the average directional index is at a rise, so that's good news in there. In terms of the 10 SMA, it seems to be above the 30 AMA, which is amazing news. The stock is still under the 200 SMA, which is alright news for us, but above the 50 SMA, which makes it amazing. We're going here to a 5 days, 1 hour period. We get to see that the stock is above the VWAP, which is good for the day. We get to see that it has established a pretty good high at 0.629, coming in from 0.460 in the last 5 days. We get to see that MACD seems to have a little bit been It's been retracting in the last hour. That will be confirmed in the next hour or so that the MACD has been stabilizing, but it's actually could be seeing a bit of a pullback, at least in extended market, and then later on in the day, we'll be able to tell that by other indicators. You see the William %R is a bit an overbought situation, and you get to see the average directional index is a little bit too high for my liking. The stock is above the trading action zone, and it does have a good support at 0.57, so that's good news here. It's really close to its current support. 0.57 is around 4% down. We get to see as well, in terms of the actual patterns here, you get to see an upward trend that has been there for quite a bit, but it's seen multiple pullbacks throughout the time here. You get to see that the stock is still considered overbought in here, so that might be a little bit dangerous where you can see a bit of a pullback, but I still got to mention the catalysts that will actually drive it upwards, so give me a minute. And in terms of the moving averages, the stock is above the moving average. We're going to be looking down here. So it is above the moving average, so that might see a little bit of a pullback there, but above the above the 50 SMA, which is good news for us. Now, the 200 SMA is way up there. That was just due to a massive drop in the previous years or so. So going in a little bit to the company presentation, we're going to be observing a bit on what the current catalysts coming up would be. And so first things first, we're going to be looking into why this company is actually jumping up right now. Well, the next obvious catalyst is on the Thursday, July 9th on 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going to be having a bit of a conference related to their solutions, and I'm imagining this has to do something as well with COVID, since there's COVID. They do supply medical equipments for COVID patients as well. So there is multiple webinars and whatnot, but the one I'm interested in is the company presentation that happened on January 2020. Quick look here, you get to see that there is upcoming milestones that they have outlaid. First things first, I did not go back and see which ones have actually been filed, but I can see in Q3 here, 2020, results of MT CNI 200 patient. So basically, there's a bit of actual milestones here, and what I could imagine is that the Thursday webinar might have one of these milestones or multiple of them, and perhaps even an update on them. So that's good news. Not a lot of people would actually realize in terms of that milestones. So I do expect it, when it actually gains attraction, for it to do jump actually a bit, but usually with these conferences there's a lot of hype. I myself, if I was to get in after a pullback, if it sees a pullback tomorrow or at some point, I can consider coming in. I usually mention when I'm getting into a stock on Twitter. But in terms of the actual in terms of the actual conference, usually it's a little bit overhyped. The news that they hear might not be as good as they thought they would, and usually you might see a little bit of a dip. So I usually sell either at the start of the conference or a bit before. Not a lot to see in terms of here, but you see a little bit of things, for instance, in terms of bit of things going into Q4. Basically, this is actually an overview, but in terms of different pipelines, I'll go in a second. We get to see 1 minute. Okay, so going into here, you get to see in terms of Q2 submit KIDI CPT code application, and 2021, there's a bit of different updates for this particular drugs. In terms of the expansions, they have a bit of expansions in these blue countries in the world. There is around 13 sales territories and 14 clinical education specialists. So it looks like it's actually seen a bit of growth in the latest years. Now, in terms of predictions, now, of course, this is pre-corona. So I expect there is actually a little bit of differences in there, but they also supply equipments for COVID. So all in all, it looks like there might be actually good news on Thursday. That's my expectations, and there is catalysts in there. But in terms of expectations, and even if they don't mention them in the current conference, there is still catalysts to play. What's your thoughts about this stock? Make sure you mention down in the comment below. Make sure you share, subscribe, and like, and you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like updates. Have a wonderful day.